All right, let's talk Manchester United. Tottenham, by the way. Tottenham feeling good against Everton, obviously. And now Man United, who really need to get going if they want to get a Champions League spot. Heath Pierce, let's begin with you. United, Tottenham. What do you see here?
This is a good game. And I never, I don't know. I don't know.
Dad thing to say.
Yeah. Well, I mean, when I thought Man United was a good game. Turns out it wasn't a good game. This one,
it was for City, I guess.
Yeah, it was for City. But when I see sort of the way it's sort of come together, you have this Spurs side that are in fantastic form right now, and really making a push and a statement where they pushed Everton to not a single shot during their match. You have Harry Kane that's back in fantastic form right now. Son, who's back in fantastic form right now. Kulusevski, who's changed the dynamic of their attack in the way that we saw Dele Alli a couple years back. And so I look at this Spurs side and I go, man, this is a team a little bit on a mission right now. And they're going through their own controversies where if they were to lose this one, then the talk kind of continues. Conte's got a fantastic record against Manchester United as well. And then on the flip side, you have Manchester United playing for pride. Like there's literally something there. And sometimes I think about myself in these situations, was never in that situation with those clubs, but I think about sort of playing for pride. And that's a fragile thing because sometimes you're just a bad team and the team just continues to get battered and you go, this game, this match, and it doesn't really have the legs to stand on. But this is one where Manchester United, they could have Ronaldo back in the team. They could have Cavani back. They could have, Pogba is still on the side. They've got a number of these players with experience that are going to have something to say about that last performance. They've got the whole world, especially Man United legends and everyone being highly critical of this team, of giving up in the second half, that there has to be some sort of response. And so I'm sort of, sitting on the fence in terms of who's going to win this one. I could see this one playing out as a draw just because I think it's beneficial for both teams. But if I had to go on form alone or on a team that I think has the weapons
you're going to say
to win, I'm going to say Spurs.
Yeah, I knew you were going to say that. Bench?
See, I'm going to kind of disagree with Heath in that I think a draw is actually a bit of a problem for both of these teams. I know for Man United, its hopes are fading fast, but they will still think of themselves as in this top four race. Spurs as well. But if you look at it, Arsenal will come on, maybe come on to talk about Arsenal, but they're playing Leicester. It's certainly not a given, but I think Arsenal are going to go into that game confident of getting 3 points. If you're letting them slip further away at this time of the season, you might not get another chance to catch them. So I'm intrigued if it's 1-1 in the 80th minute. Do these teams just kind of have to start swinging for the fences? I mean, just looking at the table now, a point and United are level with Arsenal, but they played 4 games more. A point for Spurs and they're 2 points off Arsenal, having played 2 games more. So we're kind of at the stage where you've got to win. I don't think Arsenal are going to, keep up this form, which is some of the best in Europe in terms of points in the last 10 games. But huge pressure. I'm with Heath, though, that Spurs look like things are going right. Equally, huge praise to Antonio Conte, but when you're turning Matt Doherty into a world-class wing-back, I'm not sure it's going to last. So I don't really know where this game's going.
He's got to ride the wave. He's
on a player development plan. It's an individual development plan, and it's working.
What's interesting about this particular matchup is the last time these two teams played were both at Spurs Stadium, and they lost. Man United won 3-0 back at Halloween, October 30th, and then last season they won 3-1. But the last time they played at Old Trafford, it was 6-1. That famous 6-1 game. I think Mourinho was giving a big middle finger to everybody at that point because he was still in charge. I don't know if Old Trafford has that same type of fortress in intimidation factor that it once had. And I really like how Kulusevski's fallen into a rhythm with Heung-min Son and Harry Kane. Harry Kane is in top form, as it's already been said. And when he drops into midfield, I think what Kulusevski does very well, and Heung-min Son's already been doing it, is they play in advance of Harry Kane. And so they continue to occupy the center back so Harry Kane can find those pockets. And that puts pockets of space, which puts a lot of pressure on the holding midfielders. And in this, is it going to be McTominay? If he's by himself, I think, is Pogba going to really track Bruno Fernandes? I mean, how are they going to set up and try to defend either the passing lanes into Harry Kane or defend him when he gets it on the half turn? Because when he gets it and goes, you're in trouble because of the runs that Heung-min Son and Kulusevski are doing. And then when Doherty, who's been playing out of his mind, and you got Reguilón, who I think will start, even though Sessegnon started against Everton.
Yeah, Sessegnon's hurt, I believe.
He came off. So Reguilón came on and scored. So I think he's in good form, but it seems like they're starting to understand what Conte wants, and now it's starting to play out. Now, whatever you want to say about Everton, that's a big conversation too. I'm sure we'll talk about them a little bit. With regard to United, though, I found this to be interesting. Diogo Dalot had started. I tried to add a little thing there. Dalot.
I like him. Yeah.
He came out of the lineup, and when Rangnick first took over, Dalot started right back. He identified that Wan-Bissaka wasn't good enough, and Dalot came in. He played 9 league games under Rangnick. They kept 4 clean sheets and conceded 7 goals in those 9 games. In the 3 games that Wan-Bissaka has now played, they've already conceded 6. And Wan-Bissaka was at fault for both goals against Leeds and was, I thought, pretty easily beaten in the build-up to a couple City goals, and just his positioning. And as much as I thought Wan-Bissaka was going to kick on when he made the move from Crystal Palace to United, he really hasn't. And I think Dalot's got to come back into the team. Luke Shaw and Varane coming off of illnesses. Are they going to be available for this one? I'm with Heath on this. I think Spurs are going to show up. I think they're going to build off of this performance they had against Everton. And I just think mentally they are in a better spot. I will say, though, you have an X factor named Cristiano Ronaldo, 15 goals in 30 games this season. He seems motivated and kind of pissed off he was left out, or whatever the smoke is around why he didn't go and even attend the City game. So I think he'll start. He trained on Tuesday along with Cavani, and I think he's going to be ready for the Champions League. He needs to get some minutes before that Champions League game against Atletico Madrid.